Hi everybody, it's Kimberly from Families Designed by Roman, and today I'm going to show you how to make lechon. Sounds complicated? It's not. All it is a pork loin. I typically get one of the thin pork loins from the grocery store. There's probably about a pound to a pound and a half. My mother-in-law will make a huge pork loin, like a big pork butt, but that's because she's making it for the whole family. When I make it for my family alone, I just use the small ones, or maybe the two of the small ones from the grocery store. It's simple. I'll put the recipe below so you can see it and you can follow along with me, okay? Let's go. Okay, so here we are. This is the kind of pork loin that I was talking about. It's a little pork loin filet. I was able to get this on sale for about $5.50, and this will actually feed me, my husband, and my daughter for a couple of days. My sons don't eat the pork loin, so I have to figure out something else for them. So the first thing I do is I open it up, and I have, you see, a casserole pan. What I do is I open this up and I place it in there, and I try and get as many of the flavorings that they have in the container on it. And then I will also add my trusty Tony Chacheres. And I will let it sit because we like it a little bit spicier, so I add a little bit more. And I also add a little bit of my cayenne. Like I said, we like it a smidge spicier. I don't use a whole lot of Tony Chacheres because it does have salt in it. So I'll let it sit like this in its own juices and in my spices for probably about an hour. So then after that, I'll add some sour oranges. Now, you can, if you have an orange tree, you can use orange juice, but that can get expensive. I used to have a sour orange tree, so we used to use that. But since my tree died, I use this. And I'll add this. Excuse me, I'm sneezing. I'll add this after about an hour. So we'll see you in an hour. Okay, so now my hour has passed and my spices have really soaked into my meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my sour orange mixture into the pan. I don't pour it directly on the meat itself because I still don't want the meat to lose the flavor of the spices. So what I do is I place it beside the meat. And don't worry, that's going to be sufficient. I promise you, it's going to be very juicy and tender. Now, after that, I take aluminum foil and I cover my pan. Now, if you choose to use a cooking bag, you can. Some people prefer a cooking bag. I personally don't like the cooking bag. But what I do so that I don't have overflow onto the oven, because, yeah, that's happened before, I leave a little space in here so that the air can vent out. I don't make it completely closed, so that it soaks in, it holds in. The aluminum foil is going to hold in the moisture and the juiciness when it's baking, but it's not going to overflow onto the side. And conversely, because I do have it covered, the top won't get so hard and crispy. So my oven, I'm going to bake it at 425 degrees. For about 50 to 52 minutes. I will give you an exact time. Now, of course, ovens being different, your oven might bake it a little bit longer or a little bit less. The instructions themselves say to bake it for 45 minutes. I've learned that is not enough for my particular oven and for the way I like for my meat to be. I like for my meat to be nice and juicy, but not pink. You can't have pink or pink pork. So I will show you after 45 to 50 minutes what the meat's gonna look like, okay? Now my timer just went off at 50 minutes. So we're going to take the pork loin out. and we're going to check it. Be careful because the steam is coming out of there. We're going to check it to make sure that it's done. It looks done. It looks perfect, actually. And cut along there, and yes, you see it's all white within here. There's no pink. I'll get the camera a little bit closer so you can actually see it. Get a better shot of it. That is all white meat. That is not pink at all, so that's wonderful. And it's going to be juicy. It's going to be tender. Oh, it cuts very nicely. Okay, so that's how you make your pork loin. Thank you for joining me today as I showed you how I make my lechon or pork loin. Now what I will do is at dinner I will add the mojo. That's what kind of makes it the Cuban mojo, Cuban lechon. I will put this on top of the pork. What we typically do is we have arroz con frijoles negro with the lechon, which is black beans and rice with the pork. I like my pork on top of everything. I'll have my rice, which is typically just a regular jasmine rice. If you like plain white rice or brown rice, you can use that. And then I'll put the black beans on top and then the pork on top of that, and then sprinkle this mojo on top of everything, but just a little bit. My husband prefers his pork loin or lechon on the side, so he'll have the black beans and rice, and then he'll have his pork on the side, and then I'll sprinkle over the pork, not of the whole thing. But you do as your taste buds like you to do. This is a Publix brand. I love it. Badia also makes a brand of mojo, so that can be found at Kroger or Publix or Winn-Dixie, depending on your area. If not, then just ask someone in the grocery store if they sell mojo, and that's M-O-J-O, mojo. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Now, don't forget to like this video, thumbs up, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification to be notified anytime I have any new recipes or videos. And also, please feel free to subscribe. Now, if there's anything you would like for me to prepare for you, then let me know. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.